You guys want to have a great chance at accomplishing your goals and succeeding at life? I would recommend following a mindset that I created for myself that definitely helps me, and I'm sure it can help a lot of you too. And obviously this is something I made up, and this is not something that's actually a real thing. I made this up myself. And it's all about your fucking mindset. And I call it the 60-40% mindset. Actually, it's 60% work, 40% play. And instead of being 50-50, 50% work, 50% play, I call it 60% work and 40% play. And the reason why I say this and why I think it can help a lot of people succeed, because one, when it comes to work and play, if you really truly want to accomplish your goals, you need to have a slight percentage higher of work time over, resting time and play time. But you also don't want to have your play time too much lower of a percentage compared to your fucking, your work time. 60% work, 40% play, because you need to have a slight higher percentage of work percentage over your play percentage. And I say this is because it's important that you stay on top of the goals that you're trying to achieve. It's important that you focus a bigger chunk of a majority of your time working on your goals, staying dedicated, staying consistent, staying disciplined. You know what I mean? Like keeping that drive within you to keep pushing to accomplish what you're trying to do, if you catch my fucking drift. But it's also important that we have a slight, the 40%, play time is also important, because it's all about giving yourself enough time to rest, to recuperate. So when it's time to go back to working towards your goals and the things you want to do, you're not going to be exhausted. You're not going to be drained. You're not going to look at your goals and everything you're trying to accomplish as a fucking chore and all this shit. And it's going to keep you disciplined and motivated to keep chasing your goals no matter what. That's why I say you have to have a slight, work percentage higher than your fucking play percentage, because it's about staying disciplined. It's about staying motivated. It's about staying focused on the craft and everything you're trying to achieve. But it's also important that you have enough time to recuperate, enough time to rest, enough time to just chill out and have some you time. Because that way, when it's time for you to go back to working toward the things you love to do, your goals and all that, you're not going to be overly tired. You're not going to be drained, and you're not going to look at your goals as like, this fucking chore that you'd rather not fucking do at the end of the day. And the reason why I say you have to have a slight percentage higher of work over fucking play is simply just to keep you disciplined on your goals and all this shit, and so you don't fall behind on any of that shit. But you still have a high enough of a playtime percentage where you have enough time to still rest and recuperate. So when it's time to go back to working towards your goals, you know what I mean? You're not going to look at it as a chore. You're not going to be exhausted or drained. You're going to be ready, disciplined, and ready to fucking tackle that shit. And then eventually down the line, you can always tweak your work play percentage. And eventually when you do accomplish your goals, you can tweak it so you can have more play time over work time. Like 80% play, 20% work. 90% play, 10% work. And eventually when you accomplish everything, it can be 100% play, 0% work. Catch my fucking